Hi, friends, it's Lisa Hetrick. Welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I'm so grateful you're here with me today. I am super excited to be sharing part 5 of the Mixed Brand Watercolor Palette series. This has been a super fun series where I'm swatching and sharing insight into the color families that I have chosen after many years of experimenting and playing with watercolors. I just want to say you do not have to use these exact colors to enjoy watercoloring. I am sharing them here for inspiration today. So let's get started, and we're going to be talking about the blues that are on my palette. And I was surprised because I have quite a few blues. When I started to narrow it down to the blues that I wanted on this floral palette, I kind of surprised myself a little bit. So let's go ahead and walk through them. The first color over here on the right side of the palette is Winsor Newton Payne's Gray. And this particular Payne's Gray is made up of 3 different pigments. I really like this Payne's Gray. I like Payne's Gray across many brands. I also like M. Graham's as well. But this Payne's Gray skews a little more on the cool side, and I really do kind of enjoy using it as my black. I don't have a black or a white on my palette, so I enjoy using Payne's Gray quite a bit with florals because I drop it in the center of my flowers a lot. And you can see that you can really change the value of this color and get a really interesting cool blue from using this Payne's Gray. So I'm really digging it. And it's on my palette right now. I may change my mind down the road, but right now I'm really digging the Winsor Newton Payne's Gray. It's bright, it's very transparent, and it is beautiful. Okay, my next color, M. Graham Cobalt Teal. Now I have a couple different teals and turquoise colors on my palette here. And I really love, out of all the cobalt teals in all of the different brands that I have, I love the M. Graham. I feel like it's the juiciest. When I water it down a bit to change the value of the color, I'm able to achieve this like icy blue that I really enjoy. And for florals, I really enjoy using it in that like icy blue watered down value to get some of those first layers of my florals done. And I really like this color. It's very bright, very transparent, and just very versatile. Love it. M. Graham Cobalt Teal. Okay, so my next 2 colors are turquoise and a phthalo blue turquoise. So it's kind of interesting. My first one here is M. Graham Turquoise, and I really love this version of turquoise from M. Graham. These 2 colors that I'm going to show are made from the exact same pigments, but their characteristics are different. And that's what I really enjoy about the 2 of them. The M. Graham Turquoise is more on the bluish side versus the greenish side. So when we think of turquoise, you can kind of get some kind of green values going. I like this M. Graham Turquoise, especially when I'm watering it down a bit, changing the value of color. It's a very versatile color. It is deep, it's rich, it's a really nice blue. Enjoy it very much. Okay, and you can see like from my cobalt teal, my difference between my cobalt teal and my M. Graham Turquoise, really very different colors, but I enjoy them next to each other on the palette. Love it. Okay, so my next blue on the palette is Sennelier Phthalo Blue Turquoise. And you can see that this color is made from the same pigments as the M. Graham Turquoise, but this color skews a little bit more on the blue-green side, where the M. Graham Turquoise is more blue, more like ocean-like blue. The Sennelier Phthalo Blue Turquoise has a little bit more green in it. So I really enjoy this color right next to the M. Graham Turquoise. I like to play with both of them. When the value is changed in this particular color, you get more of a green blue. where that cobalt teal gave you that icy blue, you get more of a green blue. And I really enjoy the differences between these two colors, and they're perfect for florals. I just love using them for florals. Okay, so now we're going to move on to some more of our blues that were kind of our traditional like blues. So the first up is Winsor Newton Prussian Blue. Now, I like a lot of Prussian blues across a lot of different brands. This is a single pigment color, but I really like the intensity of the Prussian blue from Winsor Newton. It's got it's can be really dark, dark blue, almost like an indigo. But when you change the value of the color by adding some water and breaking that pigment down, you can really get a nice, nice lighter blue. And I really, really enjoy this color. Also, I will use Prussian blue very much like I would use an indigo or a Payne's gray. I sometimes will mix it a little bit and get my blacks from this Prussian blue by taking a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red and mixing it in with that Prussian blue to get a deep, rich black. I enjoy doing that. Okay, the next color is Sennelier Ultramarine Blue. Ultramarine blue is not my favorite color in a lot of brands because it is a granulating color. So the pigments break down and you get a lot of texture in that color. And sometimes that annoys me a little bit when I'm painting florals. I do love using ultramarines for other kinds of paintings because you can build in that texture with an ultramarine blue. But the Sennelier brand is a little less granulating than most other brands. I also love that it's a warmer blue and it kind of skews a little bit more on the purple side. And when I want to mix, even though I have a lot of purples on my palette, when I want to play around and create some different hues of purple, I will grab the Sennelier Ultramarine Blue and mix up some purple, grab some red, mix up some purple, and just kind of play with it. I really enjoy the Sennelier brand. It's got honey in it as well, just like the M. Graham brand. So it's very juicy, and I just enjoy working with it to mix colors. Sennelier is a really great brand as well for layering. And because I do floral paintings and we're working from lights to darks, I have found that this brand is really great for that. And you can see that I'm playing around with that ultramarine blue, creating different kinds of hues of purple. So it's a great, great color. And it's one of my favorite ultramarine blues out there in the many different brands that are available. Okay, so the last blue that is on my palette is Sennelier Phthalo Blue. And I enjoy phthalo blues across many brands. And this version of Sennelier Phthalo Blue is the green shade. So it's highly pigmented. It's a little bit on the staining side, but I really, really enjoy it. And another reason why I really enjoy it, because it's a very, very versatile color. You can see here that when I change the value of the color, I can get a really, really nice sky blue, and I love that so much. It's also a fantastic color for mixing, and I love mixing it with quinacridone rose to get a really, really beautiful purple. Okay, so let's take a look at all of the blues, the final blues that I have on the palette. And just going to go ahead and put them up here so that we can see all of the colors. So we have Winsor Newton Payne's Gray, M. Graham Cobalt Teal, M. Graham Turquoise, Sennelier Phthalo Blue Turquoise, Winsor Newton Prussian Blue, Sennelier Ultramarine Blue, and Sennelier Phthalo Blue. And this is a nice mix of blues and blue greens for floral compositions, and also a great mix of blues for mixing with other colors on my palette to create different hues. So I'm really enjoying these blues. Okay, so I am sharing my favorite watercolor palette that I use from Magello. It's the Bulletproof watercolor palette. I enjoy this very much for my tube paints. I have several of these palettes, and I keep all of my tube paints in a separate container so I know where they are when I need to refill my palette. So the paper that I've been using for this series is from the Bee Paper Company. It's 100% cotton watercolor paper. I really enjoy this paper for paper crafting and swatching. I enjoy it very much. In the next video and the final part of our watercolor palette series, I'll be sharing the greens and the neutrals. I hope you enjoyed today's watercolor palette video. Thanks so much for joining me. Please consider sharing the joy by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.